Class 10 Biology Chapter 9 Heredity and Evolution Video number 1. Topics covered: Introduction to Heredity and Variation, Accumulation of Variation, and Importance of Variation. Heredity is the continuity of features from one generation to other, or in other words we can say it is the transmission of genetic characters from the parents to the next generation. It is because of heredity that human beings produce human which has the same body design as that of the parent. A cat gives birth to kitten and the kitten has the same body design like that of a cat. A maize plant will give or produce maize plant, or a dog produces pups or puppies which has the same body design as that of the parent, right? So, and that is what we have learned in the topic of reproduction, that reproduction is a process by which organisms produce young ones of their own kind. That is, in the process, it is the genetic material of the parent that is passed to the, or genetic information or genetic characters of the parents is passed to the next generation, and that is what is heredity. So having a common body design of all individuals of a particular species has the same body design, it's because of heredity. Now, when we had discussed that chapter, I had also told you that when organisms reproduce, it's not that the body design of the parent is exactly copied and passed to the next generation. Slight changes also occur. There are changes that the young ones that are produced, they will be having the same body design of the as that of the parents, but there will be differences also, right? So those differences in the external or internal or structural or functional traits of individuals belonging to the same family, race or species is what is called as variation. So as body design is copied and passed to the next generation during reproduction, slight variations also occur, and that is also like given or passed to the next generation. Okay, so these variations, they are the differences amongst the individuals belonging to the same species or same family or same race. And the branch of biology that deals with the study of heredity and variation is called as genetics. Okay, now when we talk about variation, as I said here, these are the differences. Now when you compare the organisms that reproduce sexually and asexually, you find that the amount of variation produced in amongst the organisms that reproduce asexually is quite less. Less variations are produced in case of organisms that reproduce asexually, and the amount of variation produces quite a lot in case of sexually reproducing organisms like that of human beings. Let's have a comparison. Suppose if you go to a sugarcane field, okay, and you know it quite well, the sugarcane is propagated asexually by vegetative propagation, and the method is the stem cutting. So when you move to a sugarcane field, you find that all the plants that have been propagated, they are all similar. It's because they are being propagated through asexual reproduction, and the reason for variation that we have discussed in the previous videos also, in case of asexual reproduction, is only error in DNA copying, the mutation that occurs due to error in DNA copying. Whereas in case of sexually reproducing organisms, let's take example of human beings, you find that every individual is quite different from the other one in terms of many of their features, though the body design is the same, but you find differences, and these differences that exist helps us to identify each other. And there are many other apart from identification or providing an identity, variation has got many other advantages also that we'll be discussing. We have discussed it earlier, we'll be discussing in as we move on. So you find that the amount of variation that is produced, or the amount of diversity that exists in case of asexually reproducing organism, is quite less when compared to that of the organisms that reproduce sexually. Now coming to what is the cause of variation in case of, and why there are fewer variations in case of organisms that reproduce asexually. It's because In case of asexually reproducing organisms, the variations are only due to the inaccuracies that occur during DNA copying. It's because of mutation, and we have discussed. I discussed that in case of asexual reproduction, uh, first of all there is only one parent involved, and when the genetic material of the parent is copied, the DNA is copied and passed to the next generation. We have discussed that during DNA copying variations occur, but if variations are drastic variations, then we have already discussed that such a variant will not be able to survive. Such a DNA with lots of changes will not be able to work with the cellular apparatus and hence will die. But if suppose variations are minor, then such a variant with minor errors will be able to survive, and these variations they'll be passed from one generation to another. But then these are going to create only minor variations. Okay, only minor variation, because major will not allow the organisms to survive, right? So the amount of variation that is produced is quite less, and that too it's only because of mutation that occurs due to errors or inaccuracies that happen during the DNA copying process. But in case of sexually reproducing organism, the amount of variation produced is quite large, and the reason is it's because of mutation. That is, one reason is the error in DNA copying. The other reasons, the main reason for that is the reshuffling of genes or chromosomes that occur during gamete formation and during fertilization. As already discussed in the previous chapter, that in case of sexually reproducing organism, there are two parents involved, and these two parents contribute their genetic material. Okay, so as two parents contribute their genetic material, new combination occurs, and those new combinations are because of the reshuffling of genes that occur during gamete formation and during fertilizations. So because of the new combinations occurring, you find that the amount of variation that is produced, is much more in case of these organisms which reproduce sexually when compared to the organisms that reproduce asexually. Okay, and now variations, which are the differences that exist amongst the organisms that belong to a particular family, race, or species, they are produced during reproduction. Whether the organism is multiplying asexually or sexually, you find variations are produced. And these variations they accumulate and they are passed from one generation to other. So as the organisms reproduce generation by generation, you find that these genetic variations they keep on accumulating, and finally this will result in formation of a new species, about which you will be learning in the later classes under evolution. Now let's take an example of an organism which is reproducing asexually. This is a diagram that's given in your NCERT, and this is asexual reproduction, representing asexual reproduction, as there's only one parent involved. So suppose an organism reproduces asexually, it provides its next generation. The first generation, when we talk about, it's providing two things to the next generation. One is the body design. So the first generation, the parent provides the next generation the body design. That's there, because you can see that the body design of the offspring or the young ones is same as that of the parent. But apart from this, there are also slight changes or variations. So variations also occur, and that is also passed to the next generation. Okay, now these variations that are produced in case of asexual reproduction, the variations that are produced are only because of error in DNA copying mechanism. But in case of sexually reproducing organisms, it's because of the fact that there are two parents involved, there are new combinations occurring, and these new combinations are because of the reshuffling of chromosomes that occur during gamete formation and during fertilization. Okay, so you find that variations they occur, and apart from body design that is provided by the parent generation, the variations changes also slight changes also are passed to the next generation. These changes should be very minor in case of asexual reproduction, because if it is major or drastic, then the resultant individual will not be able to survive. Now when this next generation multiplies or reproduces, it will again produce individuals, and here again this next generation, now it's going to provide the next generation, then there is a second generation, is going to provide the body design that it had acquired from its parent, then the changes or variation that it had acquired from the parental generation, and then some more new variations definitely when this body design is being passed from the first generation to the next. Again during copying there will be errors occurring, or if it is sexual reproduction, then there are other reasons also, as I've discussed. So new variations will be produced, so that is also going to be passed. Now when these individuals of the next generation, when they multiply, they are again going to pass the body design, the variations that they had acquired from the first generation, then the variation that they had acquired from their parents, and then some more added variations. So this shows that the variations accumulate. The variations, they accumulate and are passed to more and more individuals in the course of reproduction. Okay, and these variations, they add on to the diversity. So you find in the entire living world, you find there's a huge range of diversity in terms of many of the features, habitat, behavior, other many other features, shape, size and color, or whatever. You find there's huge existence of huge variety of life form. That's what is called as diversity. So the reason for diversity is the occurrence of variation, which is quite less in case of asexually reproducing organism, and so diversity is quite less small in asexually, whereas in case of sexually reproducing organism, you find that this huge diversity, and this is because of the two individuals participating in the process, contributing their genetic material, new combination occurring due to reshuffling of the chromosomes. Okay, so variations accumulate, and these variations, they are quite important. I would not say that all the variations that are produced during reproduction will be equally important, because variations, they may be either useful variation, the variations that are produced may be either useful variation, they may be harmful variation also. Okay, the variations may be harmful variation, or the variations may be neutral variations. Variations can be anything. Now what is more important is the useful variation. Okay, because these variations, they will be useful for survival of the species whenever a change in the environment occurs. Okay, we have discussed in the chapter of reproduction that variations, they may not protect, all individuals may not be protected under favorable variation, but then these variations, they play a very important role in the survival of the species, because they pre-adapt the organisms to the changes that may happen in the environment. Okay, as an example that we had discussed in the previous chapter, like if there are a population of bacteria living in temperate water bodies, and if suppose there is a sudden rise in temperature, then most of the bacteria rise in temperature because of global warming, then the most of the bacteria would die, but then some who are resistant to heat would survive, again multiply, and this change, that is have being resistant to high temperature, will be passed to the next generation. Okay, so it will be passed to the next generation, and thus these variations will not cause the elimination of the species. So they are very important for the pre-adaptation, that is, it helps the organism to get adapted to the environment or the changes that occur in the environment, right? Thus helping the individuals or the species to survive. They help the individuals in the struggle for the existence. Okay, nature selects those individuals which are having favorable variation, that is what is called as natural selection. Okay, and then these individuals will again multiply, pass on that particular favorable variation to the next generation, and then generation by generation you find that these variations accumulate, and thus they will help in evolution and formation of the new species. Apart from that, variation also provide individuality to each and every living organism. It's because of the variation that exists amongst us that we are able to identify each other. Okay, so that's about variation, right? Heredity, as already I said you, it is the passing of genetic traits. It's the transmission of genetic traits from the parents to the offspring. It's because of heredity that we all human beings have got the same body design, right? And this process by which the genetic traits are passed from the parents to the next generation is what is called as inheritance.